What's up, guys? How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome in to Rover Sports, the show, the program, and I just wanted to talk about tonight's games and pretty much recap the entire afternoon of football that we had. First, want to congratulate the Buffalo Bills. 4 interceptions tonight. 2 were by Tre'Davious White. Believe Jordan Poyer had the last interception. Levi Wallace also had an interception. And the Bills' defense, their pass defense of Poyer, Trey White, and even Johnson filling in there, Kevin Johnson, and guys like Poyer and Micah Hyde, they've stayed healthy all year. And they've just been an incredible group all season. Josh Allen has made timely plays, had some big runs, and they were moving the ball. The throws to John Brown were really good to open up the game plan. The call by Brian Dable to Tyler Kroft against that cover 6 look to the short side of the field was a really nice design. But really it was the Bills' defense against Duck Hodges that was able to win the game. And Duck Hodges... really, Shaq Lawson played great. The Steelers weren't able to run the ball, and Duck Hodges is a limited talent, but I still think that he fills in admirably. I still think he could be a placeholder at the quarterback position, could start some games for you, and I still think that Pittsburgh is going to find their way into the postseason. But tonight was an incredible culmination, and I think for the Buffalo Bills that the Buffalo Bills, they're going to be traveling to Houston, Texas. I really think that that's what's going to happen. The Bills are going to be playing the 3-seed Houston Texans, and that is what's going to be the matchup in the first round of the postseason. It's going to be the Bills heading to Houston. Houston will be the number 3 seed in the playoffs, and so I believe that that's what's going to occur in the AFC. I also believe that the Patriots are going to lock up the number 2 seed. Kansas City is going to be playing Pittsburgh, and with the way Kansas City's playing right now, I think that the Chiefs have a wonderful opportunity to actually win the AFC. I think actually the Buffalo Bills, they go to Houston. They're going to then go to Baltimore. Listen, they can guard, their defense can keep them in these games. I really think that game in Houston is a winnable game. Josh Allen's going to have to produce some offense. It's going to be an early Saturday afternoon kickoff for the playoffs, Houston and the Buffalo Bills. And we'll see if the Bills can take the game in Houston, win a big playoff game, go down to Baltimore, have an opportunity against Lamar Jackson. I really do believe the Bills with their defense could travel. And if the Bills win that game, I think it could be Bills Chiefs and Arrowhead for a chance to go to Miami, where the Buffalo Bills might have an opportunity to do just about anything. There shouldn't be any limit to the season. When you have the defense the Bills have, when you have the clutchness of Josh Allen, when you have Singletary playing better, although he needs to hold on to the ball, I mean, there's really special things that can happen. And the pass rush is getting home. Sean McDermott. It's a special year for the Buffalo Bills. It's a team that a lot of people overlooked. But in this AFC, it's really turning into a wide-open AFC. People are going to think that it's the Ravens or bust. But I really think that Kansas City's playing such good football right now that the Chiefs are really in it. And then, of course, the Patriots, which have been my pick all along. So I really think that the AFC is going to be quite wonderful. I want to talk about the Giants for a little bit here. The film reviews will be very difficult this week because Drew Lock played in the snow and really performed poorly. But we could talk about the Giants. So I was thrilled that the Giants won today. There would have had to have been so many things go right in order for the New York Giants to get Chase Young out of Ohio State. There would have had to have been like 5 separate things happen right for the Giants. And I don't like just losing ball games. I mean, we as Giants fans have been losing 10 straight games in September. I felt kind of cursed as a fan of this team that I just couldn't find a win. And the fact that my football team won this week, I'm so blessed and honored to share a victory week with Giants fans. And I'm not going to take wins or any win for granted, even if it is against Miami. I thought the offensive line had drives like the first drive against Buffalo where they went right down the field. I think Eli Manning, he just still makes spectacular throws. Like, he was hitting great slant routes, whether it was to Shepard. The throw to Shepard at the 1 yard line, rolling out 25-yard throw in an incredible position where Sterling Shepard nearly was able to get it into the end zone. Saquon Barkley went off schedule at times, but still ran the football really well. But Eli Manning, he just has such a great compact delivery as a quarterback. His mechanics are really flawless, and really not seeing Eli. The guy is 6'4", 6'5". You don't realize how tall he is and really how strong of an arm the guy still has. And that is why he was able to win the championships. That is why he was able to throw for a lot of yards in some of those years and hit those explosive throws, because the guy is very clean fundamentally. And he also he does have arm talent. And that's why he was drafted number 1 out of Ole Miss. And it's not just all luck. Like, the guy can make precision throws, and he did today. And there were some magical Eli moments. And to have magic, to have even luck, you need to throw the ball down the field. And that's what Eli Manning has been able to do. And I just think that his arm talent's better than Daniel Jones. It's probably going to be better than Jones is ever going to be. And as a prospect out of Ole Miss, I think Eli was a better prospect than Daniel Jones. And I think Eli will be in the Hall of Fame, and that's up for another discussion for another day. But just to see him with his family there, to have Archie and Olivia at the game, with his wife at the game and his kids, and just to see the reaction of the Giants fan base, them applauding Eli Manning. Not every fan base applauds quarterbacks who leave the football field for their last time. And yes, it was a win, but I really commend Giants fans for cheering him. It was an amazing moment at the game. I kind of even wish I was at the cold game to cheer off and send off Eli Manning. And that's why it's so great being a Giants fan, because the Giants fan base, they just have heart and loyalty. And people in the national media can say that we hang on to players too long, or we're too, attached to certain players. But I think that's what makes our fan base so fantastic, and our franchise, is that we celebrate, players that are loyal. We celebrate our own in a way that is really uncanny. It's really uncanny, and that's why Giants fans are special breeds, and that's why I'm honored to be a Giants fan. But, Sam Beal with that safety today, it pumped me up. The second half, seeing Saquon get downhill, seeing Gates fill into the game really admirably, it felt really good. Seeing Ballantyne make a nice hit on the football, seeing Baker make a couple pass breakups, and seeing X-Man get another sack, it just felt really, really good. And I have a feeling the Giants can beat Washington. If the Cowboys continue their hot play, the Giants are going to have an opportunity to play an Eagles team that then will be eliminated, and the Giants might have an opportunity to win that game. I'm not sure Daniel is the guy. I still want to see more next year. I liked when the Giants picked him, because I love his character. He's very easy to root for as a player, and we're going to see what happens. But I just like how the defense is coming along. For Shermer to send Eli off like that was a nice gesture. I still think Pat is gone. I know James Betcher is going to be gone, and it really depends. If the Giants could get Matt Rule, I still want to see that happen, because the Giants need some leadership in terms of the defense. But let's talk about the 49ers. Let's bounce around a little bit. Cowboys had a big game today, put it all together. You are what your record is. Just because the Cowboys won a big game today, I'm not going to make the same mistake I made last year. The Cowboys played great versus the Saints. The Cowboys then beat the Seahawks in the playoffs. I thought they would go to LA Rams, and I thought that they would win when they got to the playoffs. Now, the Dallas Cowboys, if they are going to be hosting Seattle or Minnesota again, I absolutely think the Cowboys have an opportunity to win. I actually think the Eagles, whoever wins next week, when you're hosting a playoff game in front of your home fans against a Seattle defense that is still a very spotty team, that's very inconsistent. They're a very inconsistent team. Even though they win, they always win these close games, so they always keep you in it. Minnesota with Kirk Cousins, his history, never winning a playoff game. If Minnesota plays the Eagles or the Cowboys, I really do believe that those NFC teams are going to have a chance. And you look back at the history of shitty teams winning their division. You had the Saints with you had the Seahawks with the Marshawn Lynch game. Get off me, the 8 tackles broken. That historic run. That Seahawks team went to Chicago and still went to the second round of the playoffs and beat the Saints. And then you had the Ryan Lindley game where the Arizona Cardinals came into Carolina. It was a wet game at over Saturday afternoon playoff game in the rain. And I still remember where I was watching those 2 games. I mean, that's how beautiful those games were. That Cam Newton, Ryan Lindley now selling real estate in Arizona, or I think he's now a coach. He's a good guy, but in that playoff game with Bruce Arians, that was a train wreck. But for the 49ers, I got a lot of Niners fans that are in here. For the San Francisco 49ers, I don't care. Losing today means nothing, guys. It really does. It actually kind of helps. It helps motivate. It would even be more frustrating to go 13-3 and then have to go to cold Philadelphia or have to travel across the country to Dallas. I mean, the season comes down to these next 2 weeks. If the 49ers want to get to the Super Bowl, they just have to win the next 2 weeks. If they go up to Seattle, if they beat the Rams at home, but then that Seattle game, that's the season right there, the Seattle game, man. That's an infacto winner go home, win or die. If you lose that game to Seattle, the path to the Super Bowl is pretty brutal. You're then going to have no playoff games probably ever again. You're then going to have to go to Seattle or New Orleans again. It's going to be a brutal path. But if you go up to Seattle and win, you get the week off. You probably get to play Green Bay. You're going to play like a wild card team. So you might play like Minnesota again. You might play Minnesota again. So I think it's going to be fine. And then you could rely on your defense at home and win a championship. So these next 2 weeks, it pretty much determines the NFC. The 49ers, if they get home field, I think it's over. A lot of people picking the Baltimore Ravens to go to the Super Bowl and roll through. It's possible. They're going to be playing the Bills in the second round, and then I'm projecting them to be playing Kansas City or the Patriots. I think Kansas City, and that game will be Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. I actually think the Bills are a tougher matchup. It's the first game. It's going to be a defensive struggle. I really think that the Bills have an opportunity, and that game is going to be on Saturday. You look at the NFC. I think that the Bills-Ravens game will be the first game on Saturday, so the Bills have to get up for that game. Lamar Jackson is going to have a great opportunity. The Tennessee Titans, I predicted that they would lose to the Oakland Raiders last week. It turns out the Raiders are just kind of what we thought they were. They were overachieving to start the season. There's no reason they should have lost to Jacksonville. The fan base wants Carr to leave. I believe if Jacob Eason or somebody is conveniently at that spot, the Raiders will take a quarterback. But it's not like the Raiders are completely desperate to move off of Carr. I think that moving to Las Vegas will actually provide distraction for the Carr haters. It's actually going to be good for Derek. I mean, Derek got booed out of his stadium. I feel bad because Derek has meant a lot to the Black Hole. He couldn't endorse Raider Nation any more than he has. He's dealing with a really tough team. I'm not saying he's an incredible quarterback, but you can't really name guys that are that. Only the elite of the elite can win with this defense and this talent on this football team when you're starting Keelan Dawson. You got to get a receiver, I believe, in the first round. They're probably going to look at a receiver. But then on the back end, I really would like for the Raiders to draft secondary. Linebackers are incredibly important. And really fixing the entire roster. Getting weapons. Really secondary and linebackers are incredibly important. Paul Gunfer needs to be addressed. But if Jacob Eason is right there, I don't see a reason why John Gruden should jerk around and not take Jacob Eason. Jacob Eason's just that talented. I think Eason is actually more talented than Joe Burrow. Congratulations to Joe on winning the Heisman Trophy. That was a phenomenal speech for anybody out there. But Tennessee Titans, what a disappointing game. Are you going to keep Tannehill or not? I think that Tannehill's exactly like Derek Carr. I actually think Tennessee, with Derrick Henry, they're a quarterback away. They need some defensive help. They're getting closer. I really think that they're interestingly close, especially in that division, with Houston just being mediocre. The Colts, with Jacoby Brissett, they're not as solid as we once thought. They're slipping back. And then Jacksonville. So that division is fun. I still think Tennessee, if they played more consistently, I think that they can win that division. Again, Eason is the prize at the quarterback position. Even if the Titans take Tua and hang on to Tannehill, that would be a really smart way for the Titans to go, just to get a great quarterback. But they need some secondary guys. They need elite-level corners instead of these old Patriots signees. They need difference makers in the secondary. Their defense can certainly be elevated. It's like an average kind of defense at times. And today, DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun were able to have their way on the Tennessee Titans. Even the Raiders had their way a lot of times. It's an all right defense, but it isn't a championship-worthy defense. Like, even the Chiefs have just talent. Spagnuolo's doing an incredible job. They're hitting at the right time. The Chiefs are hitting at the right time. The Dallas Cowboys had a statement game. That was a really good game. This will be an interesting carryover to see, will this Rams game carry over to this Eagles game next week? That is what's going to be fascinating, because the Cowboys are really heading in well. The Eagles only have like Greg Ward left, a receiver. The Cowboys should win this football game. They're a lot more talented. I know Garrett is a terrible coach, and the Cowboys they're not a good team. I mean, because they have the talent, they don't ever put it together. I really hope that the Cowboys can beat Philadelphia. I think they can do it, and I'm going to pick the Cowboys, but it's not something I'm really confident in. I'm actually more confident in the Bills' ability to go to Houston, because that's what's going to be the matchup. That's what's going to be 5-4. You're going to see the Patriots have the Dolphins last. They own the tiebreaker over Buffalo, so they're going to win the AFC East. They're going to get a bye again, but it's going to be Chiefs-Patriots, because I don't think that Duck Hodges, the Titans or the Steelers, I don't think could beat Kansas City. And even though the Chiefs are somehow cursed against the Tennessee Titans, I just don't see a way that Mahomes is losing that first home game. And then if we were to project all the way down the line, I think you'll probably see, let's just project, have a little fun here, kind of the last 5 minutes of this Sunday recap show. You guys can then respond with comments or questions down below. But the Giants are not going to get Chase Young now. Shermer is still probably in the mix. It really comes down to that Eagles game. I really think we could find somebody better But I just like the defense playing well. And the Giants need these young guys to hit. Like, they need Beal to hit. You need Baker to hit. You need the X-Man to be a factor. The Giants need some of these guys to be able to hit for Dave Gettleman and this football team. So, but about the playoffs. So, in the AFC, I'll go ahead and take a Chiefs-Bills final in the AFC title game. I'll take the Chiefs in this version. I know that goes against my Patriots theory, but I'm kind of feeling Kansas City. I'm feeling a Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl with the Niners winning the Super Bowl. So that means in the NFC, first round is going to be Cowboys hosting the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm going to have the Cowboys actually winning again. Kind of an upset special. So the Cowboys get kind of hot. They're going to be headed to San Francisco. They're then going to lose in San Francisco. That'll be a Sunday divisional game. But then I'm going to have the Packers and the Vikings. The Packers are going to beat the Vikings. It'll be Packers-Saints in the Dome. I'm going to take the Saints in the Dome. That game will be Saturday night after the Bills-Ravens game. That'll be an NBC game. The CBS game, Chiefs and Patriots, will be 4 o'clock on Sunday. 1 o'clock on Sunday will be... I'm actually going to say the 49ers-Cowboys will be Saturday night, and I'm going to say that the first game will be Saints-Packers, and then Chiefs and Patriots will be that 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. What a window for the NFL. Incredible for the NFL. So that means I have Chiefs and Bills, my upset special. Could very well be Chiefs and Ravens at this stage. I then have the Packers hosting the Saints. And let's think back to last year. The Chiefs, the AFC game was the late game. So opening up at Arrowhead will be Chiefs and Bills, and the Chiefs will win that game pretty comfortably. And then the later game will be the 49ers and the New Orleans Saints, which will be a good game as well. But the 49ers end up, kind of winning. I think that the divisional weekend will be phenomenal. I think that the title games won't even be as good. Still, for the Bills to be in it will be amazing. And then in the Super Bowl, I'm actually going Chiefs 49ers right now. I am going to take the 49ers defense, though, coming out in the second half, winning the Super Bowl with Garoppolo. I'm going to say a score. Garoppolo's going to put up 38. Mahomes will try to come back. He will put up 28. 49ers 38, Chiefs 28. That's the final. Garoppolo wins the title. It all hinges on that Seattle 49ers game. But this playoffs is going to be spectacular. It's going to be great. I think the divisional round will be fascinating matchups. Get a rematch of Bills and Ravens. That'll probably be my favorite game. Then you have the Chiefs and Patriots. Again, for Mahomes, that'll be the game for him in his young career. The game for Tom Brady, 4 o'clock. And then at night, you're going to then have a little Cowboys 49ers, or it could get interesting if Garoppolo gets pressured. Might be low scoring. Could the Cowboys do this? Could this be the year of the Dallas Cowboys just coming out of nowhere? It's possible. I mean, the way that they play, it's actually theoretically possible in this NFC that the Cowboys can actually do it. But I'm going to play it safe and say with Jason Garrett, you got to go for a little bit of history and what history tells you. So that's it. That's my feelings on everything, guys. I mean, it was fun just talking this out. Watching the Giants win, phenomenal. So happy. Watching the Bills get to the playoffs was great. Duck Hodges. Again, I'd preach patience. Steelers can still make the playoffs. Mason Rudolph wouldn't have fared any better. He's a backup quarterback, Duck, and you have Ben Roethlisberger and then another quarterback class. The Minkah Fitzpatrick trade was still fantastic. You still might be able to get Jacob Eason. If you like Jordan Love, I don't know if he's sensational or not. I have a little bit of doubts about Jordan Love, but you look at a Jordan Love if you're the Steelers, because it's probably a one and done, but the fact that Tomlin got them there, the Steelers defense playing phenomenal football, and for Duck Hodges, you're going to have games like this as a rookie against a really good defense. Thought Allen played fine. They didn't have the football a heck of a lot. The Steelers defense was fantastic. The Singletary fumble really hurt them. Thought that Allen made a few throws in the game. And for the most part, he was just really clean, played a really, really good game, I thought. I thought he hung in the pocket. When he ran, he had to run. And I thought he threw the ball well. A little sloppy here and there. But Josh always has a short-term memory. He's a winner. He's 6'5". He has a ton of talent. And you see why he's the guy. And he thoroughly outplayed Duck Hodges tonight. So, guys, it was really fun. I'll post this tonight. Everybody have a great Monday. I hope you enjoyed the day of football. All right, take care, guys.